Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather today. I'm meteorologist Al Peterlin. I'd like to talk about the weather health risk for January 16th, 2026. We do keep additional graphics available at tpatw.com, and we maintain a patient weather storefront on Amazon. Amazon purchases made through our storefront do support the activities of patient weather. Looking at our surface map for Friday, rather interesting as much of the country is dominated by high pressure, but there is a massive low pressure center hanging over the state of Michigan, and it is hanging dual cold fronts all the way across the Midwest, running through Michigan, western Ohio, cutting the middle of Kentucky, Tennessee, and swinging all the way back to Austin, Texas. Cold air, very cold air, will soon be returning to much of the east, although kind of interesting, there is still a patch of a little bit of warmth coming up the backside of the Appalachians before that cold truly dominates the picture. Looking at our vitality index, and this is that individual measure of all of the weather elements that might impact human health, and you can see the eastern two-thirds of the country are pretty much lit up like a Christmas tree. Lots of activity up the plains, lots of activity up the middle Mississippi Valley to the backside of the Appalachians, and on the east side, on the Atlantic, there is that frontal system trying to pull away. Looking at pressure change, and pressure change can be significant for many with headache, migraine, asthma issues. We have rising pressure up the plains from the Texas Panhandle all the way across Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska into the Dakotas, touching just a portion of the northeastern Montana, but covering almost the entire state of Minnesota. We also have rising pressure from the peninsula of Florida, all the way across it, through eastern Carolinas, eastern Virginia, picking up Maryland, eastern Pennsylvania, New Jersey, eastern New York, and all of New England, and swinging off through New Brunswick into Nova Scotia. We do have falling pressure here at the southeastern tip of Texas and up the Mississippi Valley, where the real center of the falling pressure is hanging right over Michigan, the Michigan Upper Peninsula, and the easternmost sections of Minnesota. Looking at temperature change, and we're talking about big temperature swings for the east, but note, the real heart of the cold still lingers in the plains. There is still some warm up right here on the backside of the Appalachians, but that too will be pushing off to the east as soon as possible. The dew point temperature change reflecting pretty much the same thing. Very deep cold coming to the east, a little warm up just ahead of the front and drastic cold behind. Whatever the case, lots of winds. And looking at the change in atmospheric oxygen, you'll see we have very significant area of migraine risk running from the Texas Panhandle across Oklahoma, picking up portions of eastern New Mexico, eastern Colorado, all the way up through Kansas, Nebraska, the Dakotas, Wyoming, eastern Montana, and all of Minnesota. Note we also have that risk of migraine hanging from New Jersey up through easternmost portions of New York, across all of New England, and into southeastern Canada. Note we have a risk of asthma and arthritis from that southeastern tip of Texas, across Louisiana, all the way through Alabama, up through the middle Mississippi Valley, Tennessee, Kentucky, eastern Missouri, a little bit of Iowa, and then Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, western Pennsylvania, and then north through Michigan, touching portions of eastern Minnesota and picking up upstate New York. Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather. Your comments are appreciated. And if you hurt, and that's pretty much everywhere east of the plains,